All right, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
How are we feeling today?
Ready.
Come on, we got to feel ready, excited. You've got to feel good, right? So we are 10 days from the end of the year?
Wow.
10 days? Nine? Well, I count New Year's Day because I'm still like this. No, I'm just kidding. 9 days to the end of the year. I mean, it's just like comes so quick. Where are we going?
New Year
Into the new year. How are you going into the new year?
with a blast.
With a blast? Does that mean you're going to get drunk?
No, not drunk. It's just a
No,
positive spirit.
guys, I wanted to. I have a lot of things to cover today, and I want to start with mindset because we have to have the right mindset, right? You have to control your thoughts. You have to control what you want. You have to control what you allow yourself to manifest about, right? And it could be negative, could be positive, but if we expend our energy in those areas, the results are usually the same, right? So if it's negative thoughts, we get negative outcomes. We get positive thoughts, positive outcomes. So we got to shift that thought process to make us what we want to be. We don't want to become those things, right? So I'm driving in yesterday, actually driving home yesterday, I'm having a conversation with Chris, and he put something in such perspective that I want to share with you. You know, we've been talking and doing a lot of stuff on social media, right? So he explained to me yesterday, he says, he simplified it. He said, Facebook is simple, right? So when you run an ad on Facebook, Facebook is so intelligent, it's a social network, right? So what it does is it takes a room of 100 people, and when you run an ad to 100 people, 10 people stand up and walk to the front of the room. Now Facebook establishes those 10 people, and now connects the friends of those 10 people, and now starts putting your content in front of those people. 10 more people stand up. Now what do you have? 20. But no, it's compounded. It's 20 per. It's 10 per person. So the first group stood up, 10 people. Now 10 people out of the 100 they were just served up stand up. How many do you have? 100, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000. And when you start to think about that, you start to leverage these platforms and you really start to put your content out there, what you're really doing is what you're really investing in is you're investing in an audience that's going to be relevant and going to want to interact with you. Does that make sense? I go to your house for a party, I meet someone, all of a sudden now I become friends with them. I go to their house, I go to their party, now I meet some more people, and we just start building this network of people. And you may not get results right now, meaning you may not get a sale, or you may not get any interaction or that many likes or that many views, but over time, that's going to compound and grow. So you got to continue to invest the time and the effort. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because I see that your content has slowed down a little bit. Now, slows down because you have other things on your mind. You know, holidays, the obvious, what's going on here, right? But you can't lose sight of your long-term goal. And your long-term goal is to succeed. And if you want to succeed in this day and age, you have to leverage these platforms and continue and invest the time and the effort. So, can we all agree on that? All right, social post goes out, post it. It's not for me, guys. It's really for you because you're the one that's going to get contacted. You're the one that's going to be able to help someone. So now these last 9 days of the month, we really have to tighten up and get focused on what we want for the new year. So we're going to start writing our goals, but more importantly, we're going to start putting together a plan and a strategy to make sure that every single one of us hits our targets. You know, we could set a goal. It's like, for instance, if you did push-ups, sit-ups, jumping jacks every single morning when you woke up, what would happen? You'd be in good shape, right? You'll get fit. Your stamina would get better, right? Your muscles will begin to grow. But if you just read about those things, what will happen?
Stay the same.
You'll be a knowledgeable, weak person, right? So you got to take that next step, and that's the action where you actually put in the work. You know, you have what you want. You know what you got to do to get there. What happens next is you just got to take the steps. And it's really that simple. And it all starts where?
Mindset.
In your mindset. You got to want to do it. You got to want to do it, more importantly, when you don't want to do it. You know, it's like I'll stand up sometimes, right? You guys are up at the front desk and you see me stand up and all of a sudden, oh shit, Chris. And then we go in and we like to scatter, right? But it's not what you do when people are watching. It's what you do when they're not watching, which really defines you and makes you who you are. So getting on the phones and contacting your customers, you should do that because it's part of your process. Getting on social media and posting your content, you should do that because it's part of your process. Getting dressed up really nice in the morning and feeling good about yourself, you should do because it's part of your process, right? Not my process, it's gotta be your process. Our processes can be aligned, but they don't have to be the same. Would you agree with that? All right, that's what the next 9 days has to be about. That's what right now's gotta be about, right? Because right now, what you do right now, what you change right now, is gonna be and contribute to your results tomorrow. What's happened has already happened. You can't change that. But you can change it moving forward. And that's where reflection comes in. So when we experience something, you got to reflect upon it. When you interact with a customer, when you interact with a family member, when you interact with the opposite sex or the same sex, you got to take that experience, figure out what it was, decide what you would have wanted to be better, and implement those things moving forward. Really that simple. To just take what you have and make it better. You know, there's a stupid saying, if I could only go back, if I knew then what I knew now, what would happen? What would happen? If you knew then, back then, what you know now, what do you think would happen in your life? Holy shit. Holy shit. Holy shit. You gotta say holy shit. If I knew then what I knew now, holy shit. Right? I would have built social media 10 years ago. I would have sent more emails 10 years ago. I would have, right? Think about those things. So reflection is important, is an important step of your process to improve what happens next. And that's what you should do every single day, every single week, month, and every year. Because you want 2019 to be 10 times better than 2018. Yes or no?
Yes.
How do you affect that change? By reflecting upon 18, what you did great, where you are, where you came from, and what would you do differently if you can go back? What would you do differently if you knew then what you knew now? Because back when we get to December 22nd of 2019, we're going to have this same conversation. We're going to say, holy crap, 2019 went. What are we going to do for 2020? You know? But again, it means nothing. We could know push-ups, sit-ups, jumping jacks are good for our body, can make us stronger. But if we don't put in the work, you're still going to be a weak person, right? Or you're not going to have the stamina when you need it. You know, all of these things that you should be doing, we know. We just got to execute on them, right? It means nothing. You got to turn that potential energy that you have in your head, those thoughts, and you got to put it into kinetic, and that's motion and action. So that's what I want for you. But it means nothing if you don't want that same for yourself. Simple. Drop the mic, walk away. That's how I feel about that, right? I shouldn't want more for you than you want for yourself. But I will say I want the world for you guys. The question is, what are you guys prepared to do to live in the world you want? Or to live the life you want? Real simple, all right? So, spot bonuses, we have confirmed appointments. So if you set an appointment, it's confirmed, they come in, you spot a car, $150. Everybody got that email, right?
Yeah.
It went out yesterday at 9 o'clock as soon as I got the message. Actually, somebody got the jump on it, right? Yeah, Saad happened to be next to Amy yesterday when the text went out, so she told him about it, right? So, set an appointment, confirm, spot, 150 in addition to your, right? Got a little boost for the next 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, all right? Monday, we're all here.
What time?
It's a short day. I promise you, I will be out of here like probably 12:30, 1 o'clock. But that's only because it's my goddamn birthday, so you can go, you know, whatever you want to do. No. I won't leave that early. 1:45. But it's a short day, so 5 o'clock will be closed. Okay? Maybe 3, depending on traffic. I mean, you know, if we're busy, we make that money, it is what it is, right? If we're not, we go home. Enjoy your time with your family, enjoy the holidays. Those of you who don't celebrate, you'll be here. Right?
Phil.
Phil, and who else?
And Steve.
Steve, you celebrate? Yeah. You celebrate? Yeah. But that's it. Do you guys have anything today? Have anything you want to talk about?
Well, we're not gonna have the.
You have any questions? We're not having a Christmas party, and I apologize for that. We're gonna do something, I promise you. But we can't get a place that's affordable enough for me, Phil, and Troy to pay for it. Sorry, I'm not there right now. So I apologize for
Why
that.
don't we all just go bar hopping?
But no, we had a better idea. We're actually going to take everybody to the city in a bus, right? We're going to open the doors. We're going to say, go ahead now, you're free. Meet back here at midnight. That's what we're going to do. No. We can and will do something, I promise you. Okay? It's just bad time, right? That's it. But we'll do something. And it's going to be us.
Is that gonna happen in December or January?
You leave the damn shit alone,
Maybe
You're coming with me Christmas Eve, okay? I'm gonna take you. I think this is no. Listen, it's important for us to get together. It's important for us to mingle outside of work. I think it's great for team building. I think it's great for further getting to know each other, right? Outside of here, I think it's important. So we're gonna do it. We just can't do it this week, right? But it's important. So. Anything, Phil? Steve? No?
This is your chance, Steve.
Yeah.
This is your opportunity to really let him out.
Let it out.
Charles is taking all the violence.
Yeah. Steve really is a tremendous help with everything. I know he walks around and it causes a little, ruckus here and there, but that's part of the beast, right? You can't have the left hand without the right hand and smack them together if you don't have a Steve, right? But he helps out, swaps, knowing where cars are, and let me just tell you one thing. See, Dexter hit it on the head. If there's a car that's hot, he reserves them. Like I'll see a Pilot with Steve's name on it. It's not a deal. He's just hiding it from someone else so they don't sell it.
Maybe pal will listen to your Facebook.
They can listen. AB will listen tomorrow. Don't worry. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because if there's a name on it, he's got to call me. He's got to call Phil. He's got to call Troy. But he holds the car for you. So, thank you, Mr. Steve. Come on, round of applause. Steve. And Dexter's a beast with product presentation. He's just like he's the man to learn from. He's the guy to learn from. He hasn't talked about how the dextrose, was it?
That's Ace Body Structure.
Ace body structure. Do you know that the frame of that car is made tubular? Do you know why? Well, so something that is dextrose, something that is dexterity or has dexterity?
Has dexterity.
Has dexterity, right? Think about a flat piece of paper. How easy does it fold? Versus a tube. It doesn't. But there's one other thing, which I know you guys don't know. Only Dexter and I do. That tube transfers impact and sound, right? Through the tube, channels it outside the car. What does that do?
That's what it does.
That's what it does. Only me and Dexter know that. Now you know that. So now you're privy to it. So 2019, let's talk about that real quick. 2019 is going to be really exciting. We've already started a live podcast, right? So it's not an official podcast because we haven't uploaded to the podcast sites. But we started a live where we're doing Honda Drive. That's where on any given, it's on Wednesdays, once a week, around 7 o'clock. We get 4 people in a car and we just talk about it. So we've already done the pilot. This week we did the Type R, right? Every week we're gonna do a different car. And we're not selling. Like Malik always gets on, he's like, oh, you guys gotta come down and see this car. No. It's not. We're not selling. We're only talking about what we like about the car, and just what we're experiencing while we're in there. The ride. You know, what type of buyer the car's for. What type of buyer would be cross-shopping this type of vehicle. So, for instance, the Type R we spoke about, Subaru. What do you call it? STI. We talked about the Golf R. You know, there are other cars in that segment, and what this is going to do for us is going to help us pick up traction, not just Honda as a brand, but whoever's in that car. You know, oh, Dexter had a great point. Oh, Dave had a great point. Victor had an awesome point. Peterson talked about the Haitian community and how he needed, you know, when we were in the pilot. No, it was really good. You know, and I think what it does is when people see a camera, they get shy. But after a little while, you get used to it. You know, you don't even know it's running. And all of a sudden, you just start speaking very naturally. And that's what we need. It's raw, natural content explaining our experience with the vehicle. Right? How you doing, sir? So that's one. The other one is dealership culture. And it talks about us as a dealership. You know, employees, what we go through, what our day was like. You know, issues we're having, issues we've overcome. Whatever it is, we're going to be discussing on this. And then we're going to put together another one, which is going to be career based around career progression. Right? So, why are you nodding your head, Saad?
No, that's good.
Career
That's a good
progression. Look, the bottom line is, we don't want to sell cars our whole life, right? At some point, we have to spread our wings, right? And teach someone else to do what we do. So we're going to create something around that, right? Because all you guys have to have your sights on something. If not, you're just kind of going through the motions each day. And you get stagnant, you wind up hitting plateaus, and we don't go anywhere. So we're going to be doing that. So that's 2019. So a lot of cameras, a lot of video, a lot of content that you guys are going to be producing and put out there to just spread your wings and create a brand for yourself. All right? Any questions? Anything you'd like to add? How many cars do you want to sell today? Dex?
3.
3, 5,
3.
8, 10,
5.
15. Are you come on, 5?
Yeah,
That's what you're gonna do.
that's what I'm gonna aim for.
How?
Better have a goddamn phone.
How? Give me your recipe.
But
And I'm not picking on you, but I'm picking on you because I want you to think about how, right? Because that's the most important part. It's again, we can have to do push-ups, sit-ups, and jumping jacks, right? But if we don't do it, it doesn't mean anything, right? So how? How will you do 5 cars today?
by pushing myself 5 times more than I would normally do.
Pushing yourself 5 times more than you normally would. Okay. More specific. What are you specifically going to do to sell 5 cars?
Go out there in the service lab and try to appraise every vehicle I can get my hands on and convince them to get into the real life.
Okay.
Touch more customers.
So how many
than I
people do
normally
you have to touch?
All of them.
How many do you have to touch?
All of these.
To sell 5 cars, how many people do you have to touch? My experience has been 9 appraisals, 1 deal. So call it 10%. So if you want to do 5 cars, you're gonna have to appraise 50 cars. Are you gonna do that?
I'm gonna do that.
Okay. Starts with 1, right?
Yep.
2, 3, 5. 50. You get to 50. Which means that if you really want to sell, and this is my opinion, right? If you really want to sell 5 cars today, you're gonna have to utilize these other people here. Say, look, I just appraised this car. I'm with a customer. Dexter, can you help me with this one? Imran, can you help me with this one? And when you do the 5 cars, we'll figure out how you're going to be compensated for those extra ones. Because I don't think that you physically have the manpower yourself to do 5 cars. And I'm not being the cloud, I'm just being practical. Make sense?
Yeah.
Anyone agree with that or disagree? Agree, right?
Yeah.
We got to be practical. If we set unrealistic goals, and again, I'm not picking on you. I think this is great. I think you're awesome for doing this. If you set unrealistic goals, you're never going to get them. So what you're going to do is you're going to breed disappointment and failure. And you're going to accept that as just being like, I can't set a goal. It's got to be realistic. All right? And if it's not realistic and it scares you, it's a good goal, but you really need to be granular and figure out what steps you need to take to get there. So we were on, well, with you, we were 15. So how many cars are you gonna do?
2, 3.
Okay.
So around about 30.
I'm with you there. I'm with you there. And listen to me. If you do 5, I swear I will run around in my underwear. You do 5. You do. Don't go giving him freaking 2 or 3 cars. All right? You're with me. Me and Troy are gonna run around in our underwear in the showroom
No, check it right
on
now.
any day, the day of your choice. The day of your choice. The day of your
I'm
choice.
gonna help you, Smiley.
All right, so that's 12. Go. What do you got? Come on, quick. You gotta sell the cars. 2, 14, 16, 18, 21. You guys are stuck on 2 now. Oh, shit. How do you expect to do 2?
You already got one.
I got one.
21. All right. 21. Go. 23.
3.
Okay. 26. Anybody else? 26 cars.
Steven.
26 cars.
Steven.
If you do 20,
why?
hold on. Oh, wait. How many? Steve? 2.
Steve,
Steve,
stop.
you do like
Steve. 2. Come
He's
on.
giving it like 6.
Makes sense. We need 30.
We need 30 today. Wow, 28 cars. I can't tell you what, right? But if we do 28 cars today, right? In new and used, 28 cars today. There's going to be money in addition to your bonuses.
Oh, hell.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I promise you. Even if I have to rob the place. Okay? Let's make it happen, guys.
Oh my God, guy.